What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are diving into the Fossil Cup with a team that I might think is the best team of the cup. I dare say this team was so much fun to use. Pelipper and Lucario is an incredible core in the meta, and Perrserker there on safe swap with Shadow Claw, Foul Play, and Close Combat is gonna be forcing shields in this meta. Now, if you guys don't have good IVs, don't worry. Look at my Lucario and Perrserker. They're egg hatches. These are the only ones I could potentially use under 1500 combat power. So use the best that you guys have and have fun. All right, everyone, buckle up. These are some sweaty battles and it's going to be a lot of fun. We have Pelipper on the lead versus Registeel. Terrible lead for us, so we're going to go ahead and swap out right away into that Perrserker and start getting ahead on energy, and they decide to bring in a Shadow Poliwrath. Now, this is where Perrserker really shines in these situations where the only way to take down a Perrserker is with the charge move. So we're going to go ahead and shield that dynamic punch, load up on some energy, and then go ahead and go for double close combat right here. This is why Perrserker safe swap can be so deadly in this meta. Even against something like a Lucario that swaps in, you will get to that close combat in time and you will force a shield. So we're going to go ahead and go for the second close combat now, and they decide to let it go. Boom! It goes down. Now, they're going to come back in with Registeel, which is a terrible idea because Lock-On's going to do no damage, and I'm going to be able to get to another close combat. Perrserker is insane. If there is a fighter like Lucario or Escavalier, you can force a shield in the mid-game, getting yourself 2-1, or if there's not, you can just go ahead and clean sweep. So we're going to go ahead and let that Focus Blast go through, come in with the Lucario, and we do see a swap out into Pelipper. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball right now. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage, and why Lucario is the #1 fighter in this meta. And we're going to go ahead and shield the Weather Ball and then fully farm down. So this is going to be a good game, very well played, as we can just counter down fully before they get to another Weather Ball, and then they won't be able to get to another charge move in time. And we still have our Pelipper, so we're just going to go ahead and go for the Power Up Punch right here to boost our counter damage. And that is looking to be a good game, and they do decide to surrender. So Perrserker right there, absolutely clutch, and the Lucario closing out nicely. All right, so we got Pelipper versus Azumarill right here. Another tough situation on the lead, but thankfully we do have access to Hurricane, which is going to be very advantageous for us. Now we're going to go ahead and let this first charge move go through. I'm guessing it's going to be Play Rough, and it is going to be a decent amount of neutral damage right there. But what I can do in this situation is get myself shield advantage, because Hurricane is going to apply a lot of pressure right here to this Azumarill. So we do get a shield. That is beautiful. We're going to go ahead and keep loading up on energy, and they are going to decide to throw another charge move. I'm going to shield this one and go for another Hurricane. If I can get 2 shields right here, again, Perrserker and Lucario are still looking very strong. So we're going to overload, go for the Hurricane, and now knowing that they do have Ice Beam and Play Rough, I'm going to try to catch the Ice Beam on a swap as they do decide to double shield. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and swap right now to catch the charge move on Perrserker. This is probably going to be Ice Beam, and it is resisted because of our Steel typing, so we saved the Pelipper. And we do see a Poliwrath coming in, so we're going to go ahead and load up on some energy. Now, this was way too quick. This is just Power Up Punch. It was far too quick, so that is not going to do enough damage. We're going to load up and go for a close combat now. Even if this is not enough damage to take out the Poliwrath, we're still looking pretty good. Because we're actually going to be able to get to another one in time. So we're going to be able to get to another close combat right here and take out Poliwrath, getting ourselves switch advantage, which is going to be very ideal for a Lucario with 1 shield to close this game out. Let's see what they decide to bring in. It is going to be a Skarmory. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come in with the Lucario right here and just load up on energy. We need to be careful about their swap into Azumarill. I know that is coming. But I do have a lot of energy on Pelipper, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to overload right here. We're going to see them swap out, perfectly timed on their end, but unfortunately for them, I have so much energy here on Pelipper that I will be able to get to a 3rd Hurricane, or a 1 Hurricane here in this matchup, and take out the Azumarill. Skarmory farms this down, but we have a Shadow Ball ready to go, and that is looking to be a good game, very well played, as this is going to do basically enough neutral damage to take it out, as we do 1 more counter, and good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next one. I only think I won lead like 2 or 3 times today. We have Registeel again on the lead. This happened so often. We're going to swap straight into Perrserker right here, get ahead on energy, and they're deciding to stay in, and they decide to actually swap into Jirachi on the charge move. So unfortunate for me that I threw the close combat, but it's still going to force a shield anyways. And this is looking to be a very good situation. Shadow Claw's doing super effective damage. Foul Play's doing super effective damage, and they clearly do not have an answer to Steel-type Pokemon other than Jirachi. So this is looking very good. We're going to go ahead and shield right here. We obviously want to take this switch advantage if we can with a 1-0 shield, so we're going to throw that Foul Play right away, and Perrserker, yet again, is getting ourselves switch advantage right here. Now, you may be wondering, what about Swampert that comes in or what have you? You can still apply a lot of pressure with close combat, so don't be worried about that. The Registeel is going to go ahead and throw the charge move, so we'll let this go. Perrserker already did its job, and we're going to come in with that Lucario and load up right here on energy. We do see a swap out of Ferrothorn. That's a good game. I'm not too sure. Well, obviously, they're going to be adjusting in the future most likely, but that team obviously being very weak to Lucario. So, good game. We have Jellicent now on the lead. I play these Jellicent matchups a bit differently throughout the whole day, as I did 20 battles with this team, but we do see a Poliwrath yet again swap in. Now, this is one of those situations where I technically don't want switch. I want energy advantage. So what we're going to do here is shield the Dynamic Punch, go for a double close combat right here. Now, I'm 1 Shadow Claw away, unfortunately. So we're going to have to throw this first one, and they decide to let it go. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and go for switch right here. Because they decided to let that one go, what we're going to look to do is utilize all this energy on Perrserker to apply a lot of pressure to that backline. Now, we do see that Quagsire come in, so this is going to be a very tough situation for us. Quagsire, Stone Edge, and Earthquake, we have no shields. We're going to have to be very careful with what we do here, and I'm deciding to go for a second close combat right now, as this should be getting the final shield for my opponent, and it does. Okay, tough situation. There's a Jellicent. There's a Quagsire, we have no shields, and that thing has energy. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Pelipper right here. I'm hoping I can try to catch a charge move on Lucario, but we'll have to see. It's going to be the Stone Edge for super effective damage. We're going to load up and go ahead and go for a Weather Ball right now. And I think they're 1 or 2 fast moves away from Stone Edge, so I'm going to see if I can try to catch it right here. So going to be one more. Nope. Okay, I miscounted right there. That is fine. This is where we're going to put all our faith in Lucario, as we can load up on energy right here. They're not swapping out as well, and they notice that they need to swap out, so we're going to go ahead and overload with Lucario. Go for the Shadow Ball right here for super effective damage. Is it going to be enough, though? No, it's not enough. 2 more counters take it down, and we have a power-up punch ready to go to close this game out. So an extremely close battle right there, but thankfully Lucario with Shadow Ball came in clutch to close that game out. All right, moving into the next battle, we have Pelipper on the lead versus Reggie. I'm telling you guys, I lost lead almost every single battle. We're going to go ahead and swap out into the Perrserker, and we do see the Swampert come in. So that's what I was talking about earlier, where Perrserker, even in a situation where Swampert comes in, you can put a lot of pressure on with close combat. They decide to no-shield that, so that's fine by me. I think in this one, I'm going to go ahead and go for the double shield farm down. I know I did it in one of these battles. Yeah, it's going to be this one. I'm going to go ahead and go for the double shield farm down, similar to the last match where we double shielded that Poliwrath. I can take switch right here with loaded energy and utilize these charge moves successfully to put a lot of pressure on that backline. So Perrserker completely takes the game or mid game there from Swampert, as they did decide to no shield the close combat. Alright, so we're going to have Pelipper come in. So this is going to be a unique situation where there is a Registeel still left and a Pelipper. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Foul Play, and then we're going to swap out into the mirror, forcing out this Registeel. This does a few things. Firstly, it's going to have to throw a charge move in order to take us out, and hopefully they decide to throw it right away. And secondly, we can chip down some health right here with Weather Ball. Now, they do get to the Zap Cannon in time, so Pelipper is going to get boomed out of this game, and I will boom it. Boom! Pelipper goes down, but there's a 2-shield Registeel. We have Lucario and Perrserker. Do you have faith? I think we can do it. We're going to come in with Perrserker right here, load up on some energy. We're going to go ahead and go for close combat. Again, they know our Perrserker is deadly, and they're going to be forced to shield. So let's see if they decide to. They are. Can we get to the second one in time? Yes, we can. This might just get the second shield. They don't know what we have in the back, and if they do double shield, which they did on a CMP tie, we are now in a fantastic situation for Lucario to close this game out, as we can come in, start to counter down. They're going to come in with the Pelipper and throw the charge move. We're going to try to get to this Shadow Ball in time, and we do get to it. In order for them to win the game, they had to have landed a Hurricane, as a Weather Ball wouldn't have done enough, and Lucario is going to take it there for me in this battle yet again. In hindsight, if the opponent decided to no-shield the close combat and come in with Pelipper, they would have probably won, right? Having loaded up on energy, but they didn't know I had Lucario in the back. So good game, very well played. All right, we got Pelipper versus Jellicent on the lead. This might be the one where I decide to stay in. Nope, okay, I swap out on this one. One of these I decide to stay in, and we are going to see the Lucario come in. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where even if Lucario comes in, you are going to get to a close combat in time. This is going to be forcing that shield from our opponent, and they will be able to farm us down. Now, the only takeaway here is that I'm going to have to farm down now with Pelipper and be able to successfully shield the Shadow Ball. That is a tough situation. Now, they're going to go ahead and throw the charge move. I'm going to guess it's going to be Shadow Ball, so I will shield. And it was a power-up punch. That is so unfortunate for me, as they might be able to get to the next one in time. And I decided I should have thrown the Weather Ball right there. But I'm going to go ahead and double shield the charge move. It is going to be the Shadow Ball on this one. So that's a good play on my opponent, going for power-up punch first, then the Shadow Ball, getting both of my shields. And we're going to go ahead and go into the Hurricane right here versus the Jellicent. So I don't know what they have in the back. I'm going to guess Registeel, but we did land the Hurricane, which is beautiful. And we're going to go ahead and go for the Weather Ball right now to try to force that final shield. It's going to be resisted, but maybe we get it. Nope, they decided to let it go, and they do get to the charge move in time. This is very unfortunate, so hopefully Lucario can take down whatever they have in the back. We're going to put in all our faith, and it's going to be a Lycanroc. So we're going to go ahead and go for the power-up punch right here, boosting our attack. Maybe it would have been better just to do 2 more counters. I don't know, but this is going to be an extremely close game, as here comes the Psychic Fangs, and this is basically going to take us out, as it does neutral damage, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. A very close one right there, but that ultimately came down to me shielding a power-up punch and a Shadow Ball. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and stay in on the lead. Different Jellicents, I decided to swap out. This one I decided to stay in. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and no-shield this as well. And it is just going to be a Bubble Beam. So that's pretty huge for me, being this far ahead on energy now, especially no-shielding the Bubble Beam. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Hurricane. Try to put some pressure on those shields, but we land it. This is perfectly fine. And I'm going to go ahead and... I think this was a bit quick. Yeah, it was a bit quick, but it was a Shadow Ball, so that's a miscount on my end. I'm going to go ahead and swap into Perrserker and save my Pelipper for a sack swap late game. We do see Escavalier. So you have now seen in all of these sets your most common, and I messed up right here. I should have done one more Shadow Claw, because what you guys are going to see is my close combat. I'm not going to be able to get to the second one in time. So that's a mistake on my end. But you're seeing Swampert swap in, you're seeing Lucario, Poliwrath, and Escavalier swap into Perrserker, and it gets shield advantage. That's the whole thing. Now, we have to come in with Lucario. We have to put all our faith in this thing to close this game out. I don't know what they have in the back, but we have to commit to the hard farm down right here. I can't go for a power-up punch because I'm going to need all that energy, and I will be forced to double shield as well. So we have our backs against the wall. We are literally in the red. They have a shield, but they only have a Ferrothorn in the back. We're going to go ahead and go for the power-up punch right here, and it's going to get no-shielded as well. Could have gone for Shadow Ball. We're going to go ahead and load up and go for another power-up punch. My goodness, this is going to be very close, as they will likely shield this next one. As they do, we're going to try to do our best with counter damage, and Lucario fully counters down. We swap into the Pelipper and one-tap the Jellicent, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. That was an extremely close one. All right, Moving to the next battle, we have Pelipper versus Mawile on the lead. Very positive lead for us, as we will be resisting the fast and charge move right here. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Weather Ball, but they do a great swap into Politoed. Now, my backline, while they can do well against Politoed, it's honestly not the best idea. So what I'm going to have to do here is just commit to overloading on energy and just give shields to Pelipper to try to close this game out, because it can still do well against the Mawile as long as I keep it healthy and as long as I shield a potential Blizzard. So we're going to go ahead and give up the shield right here. If this is in fact Blizzard, which it is, that is a huge shield for me. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to going for one more Weather Ball. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure I had my audio on. We're going to go ahead and commit to one more Weather Ball right there, and they're going to be forced to throw their own Weather Ball. There's no way this is another Blizzard and we can survive. So I am okay with this, because what I'll do here, and it's actually going to be a Surf. They'll want to change that to Weather Ball. What I'm going to do here is draw out that Pelipper, and we'll have to see what final Pokemon they have in the back. It's going to be Jellicent, so we're going to go ahead and load up onto 2 Weather Balls and swap into Perrserker to draw out the Mawile. Sorry, not draw out the Pelipper like I said earlier. Draw out the Mawile, because we will force the final shield right here with a close combat. It doesn't matter if they shield it. We have loaded energy on Pelipper, but they decided to let it go. Boom! They get one shot right there, and we will see the Jellicent decide to try to come in and do something, but we will get to this foul play in time. So, had the Mawile shielded right there and farmed me down, I had 2 Weather Balls locked and loaded, and a Lucario with a Shadow Ball to close this game out. So, either way, it was a win-win for me, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Hurricane now to take out the Jellicent. And that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, these battles are sweaty, they're fun, and this team was actually insane. We have Pelipper versus Ferrothorn now on the lead. Another lead loss. We're going to swap out right away into the Perrserker and load up on energy. They're deciding to stay in. Nope, they swap out right now into Swampert. So we're going to go ahead and go for that close combat. This is a Shadow Swampert, so this close combat is going to hurt even more, and we do get a shield right there. So hopefully I can get to this next one in time. No, I cannot. So do I shield? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and commit that shield right here to stop that Hydro Cannon. Going to go for one more close combat in order to force the final shield from my opponent, and then we're going to let Pelipper loose with Lucario. But we do get a second shield right there, and let's see if we can get to a third one. They're trying to commit to the farm down, and they got really greedy. Perrserker, absolutely insane with Shadow Claw in close combat. Boom! Takes out the Swampert and shield advantage and switch advantage. And we are going to be able to come in with Lucario right now and just load up on energy. They're going to go ahead and throw the Thunder right here. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. It's actually going to be a Power Whip, so that is unfortunate for me. We're going to go for the Power Up Punch right now. In hindsight, probably should just commit to the farm down, but Power Up Punch is definitely not enough, and it's going to be a Jellicent. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. We don't get to the Shadow Ball in time. This is going to be a Shadow Ball from my opponent's Jellicent. Boom! Lucario goes down, but I still have Pelipper. Now, in this situation, I'm going to need as much energy as possible. Shadow Ball does not one-shot a Pelipper. It's going to get me into the yellow right here. So we need to be very careful with how we manage our energy. We're going to overload a ton, but they get to the Bubble Beam in time. That is so unfortunate for me, as Bubble Beam is nearly going to take us out. We're going to go for the Hurricane now to do as much damage as we can to this Jellicent. And we barely don't take it out in time. They swap into Ferrothorn, but we survive the Bullet Seed fast move, able to get to the Weather Ball in time to take out the Ferrothorn, and Wing Attack takes the Jellicent. Were you worried? Yeah, I was too. Very close one and good game, very well played, but my goodness, this team was fun to use. Went on an absolute tear today, 17-3 overall with this team. And the beauty of it is the Pelipper Lucario combination on this meta and the guaranteed shield that you will get with Perrserker against the most common things that you see, because again, the things that swap into it are going to be Lucario, Poliwrath, Escavalier, and Swampert. And with close combat, you can completely handle that, along with the other matchups where they're more neutral. like we saw with Registeel or Jellicent. It does so well with Shadow Claw and Foul Play and Close Combat. Perrserker is absolutely insane for this meta. And again, my IVs are from hatched Pokemon. It's the best ones that I had that I could use for the Great League. So you guys, give this team a try. It is insane, and it was so much fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.